Hello everyone, Chris from the Headache and Pain Management Centre here for your Wednesday, and today we're talking about disc degeneration. It's something that everyone generally has on their scans to some degree, especially if they have pain. So just talking about what it actually means to have disc degeneration and whether it's actually important when it comes to your pain. If you're joining me, type in below, say hello, and if you've got any questions, I'll answer them on the way through. So when it comes to disc degeneration, we see this a lot. This is typically the story with people with sort of neck or back pain. Typically what happens is they go to their doctor, they go to their GP, and they say, hey, I've got a sore back, I've got a sore neck. And if it's not getting anywhere, it's still niggly, it's not really improving, quite often they will send them for a scan, okay, whether that be a CT scan or an MRI scan to see what's happening. I'll come more to that later as to why that's important or it's not. What happens when you get the scan, so when you get the MRI or CT, quite often a common finding that you find when you get your back scanned, when you have back pain, or your neck scanned for that matter, is disc degeneration. And quite often it's usually around the L4 or L5 disc, which is the main one, or in the neck it's the C5, C6 and C7 where you get the most degenerative changes of the discs. Now quite often you see that finding and you go, oh my god, my discs are degenerating. Crikey, this must be terrible. My discs are crumbling. There's something really, really nasty going on there. G'day, it's nice to see you there. Nice to have you joining us. Yeah, so when it comes to degeneration, you kind of look at the word and you go, my God, it's crumbling in there. I'm falling apart. My spine is crinkled, it's crumpled. It's really, really nasty in there. See, this is the problem. When you have something like disc degeneration, it's actually normal, okay, to have something in there which is degenerative. So the word degeneration on its own is a word that's used in the radiological sort of world, so people that report on MRI scans and other scans, to describe something that's different to normal, that might be a little bit, skinnier than normal. If, their disc is normally like that, it might be like this, and they call it, moderate degeneration or severe degeneration or stuff like that. Whereas to the layperson, we look at that word and we go, oh my God, my disc is degenerating. This is terrible. Matter of fact, degenerative discs are actually a normal part of aging. So if you're over the age of 25, it's likely that you're starting to get one. And by the time you get to 50 or 60 years old, it's nearly 100% chance that you're going to have one. It's in the. I'll actually post a picture here later on what the actual the prevalence of the what percentage of people actually have degeneration depending on their age, but it's quite a high number. And a lot of these people that have degeneration in their backs actually don't have any pain. So they have degenerative changes there and they don't have back pain, or they don't actually know that they've got degeneration there. I myself have two degenerative discs at the bottom of my back at L4 and L5, and I don't really have an issue with it. There's no real pain at all. In fact, if you looked at my scans that are all over my body, I'd look like I'm falling apart. But yeah, I don't actually have any pain. So when it comes to degeneration, it's actually something that is quite normal. It's only if there's some other structural deficits which are really impacting things and are causing a lot of pain and discomfort. Say, for example, what's called a disc extrusion, where literally a piece of the disc breaks off the disc and is pushing on the nerve, and it's constant unremitting and it doesn't actually go away. Or it's causing issues, say for example, with the feeling in your leg, where you can't lift your leg, you actually lost muscle power or something like that. That is actually when you start to worry that perhaps other issues are at play that need perhaps more intervention, like surgery. By the way, back surgery is always the last card on the deck. There's always other things that you can do functionally to get strong to make that happen. I guess I just gave away the answer there. G'day, Lockie, good to see you, buddy. So when we're talking about degenerative discs, we're actually not talking, it's quite easy to blame that because you see it on the scan, it's like, oh my God, it's the disc. It's degenerative. You've got to be careful with that. Whereas a matter of fact, it's quite a normal thing. Everyone has some level of degenerative changes in their body if they're standing upright and they live for any length of time. So it's actually quite normal to have that. What you actually need to have more of is strength and movement. So you actually need to have strength in your spine, strength in your back. The muscles around your back need to be strong in order to make that happen. Also, strength around the muscles of your knees, strength muscles around your shoulders. So being strong is actually the best thing to be. And also moving with confidence and with certainty certainty to know that you're able to do the things that you're asking of your body. So, if you're not strong enough to do the things that you're needing to do, then you need to get strong enough to do it. Otherwise, what your body will do is it will act protectively, and it will stop you from doing the movement just in case you hurt yourself, as opposed to actually injuring it. Now, it can be a little bit difficult to sort of understand there, but quite often when you have these degenerative changes as a result of having a scan because you have pain, it's easy to blame or apportion the blame to the degeneration rather than the pain process itself, which is either protective or because it's just not quite strong enough to do what it is that you're asking it to do. So if you do have degeneration on the scans and you do have pain, it doesn't necessarily mean that the degeneration is causing the pain. It could mean something completely different, and usually it does. Usually it means there's a lack of strength and just a lack of movement, which can be helped very substantially with strengthening and movement, believe it or not. Cool, hope that's been helpful. It's only a short one today, so if you do have degenerative discs and you are scared about your pain, that will help, okay? You just need to get strong, you need to get moving, and that will actually help things out. And of course, if it's painful to move or painful to get strong, then it's actually well worth the idea to actually see a professional about it to see what it is that you can do. And obviously surgery and medication are the last card in the deck. Moving and strength is the best thing for it. So if there's any questions on that, please type in below and I'm more than happy to answer them for you. I'm just off into a meeting tonight with a few other businesses to talk about what it is that we can offer them. And yeah, so looking forward to that. I'll have another video. Actually, it's a live video from Melbourne on Friday. Apparently it's blizzard-like conditions down there. I'm attending a meeting down there as well on Friday, so I'll look forward to bringing something from there. Hope you have a lovely evening, and I'll see you again on Friday. Cheers, bye for now.